Welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabby and I've been doing a vlog series through quarantine, and for the most recent videos I've also been documenting each cycle of the female menstrual hormonal cycle. And so I am finally on my period in the menstrual phase of my cycle, and if you can't tell, I'm very passionate about female hormonal body literacy and health. It's something I always want to learn and study about and take courses about and read about. And so after getting some feedback, I think I'm going to make a separate video that talks about the 4 phases. But it's just been fun to share and track along week by week how I'm feeling, and it's made it really easy for me to track my symptoms. Peppermint tea. My symptoms and how I'm feeling, and really see how I eat and exercise and nourish my body, how that impacts how I feel. So, like I said, I just got my period. I like to use a menstrual cup when I'm on my period, and I've been doing that for a little while now. There definitely was an adjustment period, but now that I'm used to it, it's really easy for me to use. So that's that. Now, if we go to the Woman Code Bible, as I've been calling it, so the menstrual phase of your cycle is 3 to 7 days depending on the person. For me, it's usually about 4 days. And essentially, during this phase of your cycle, just to recap, before this was the luteal phase, and your hormones are rising, and basically once you get your period, once you start bleeding, the hormones really, there's a great drop off if you were looking at a graph. And because of this, you'll find oftentimes, if right before you get your period, you might feel anxious or riled up, and then the second you do, you're just you're okay, this explains everything. This is, everything you go back through everything that you were feeling and thinking and saying in your head, and you're okay, everything makes sense now. Once the progesterone drops off, it triggers the shedding of your uterine lining, aka your period and bleeding. Also, oh my god, I took an amazing webinar through Christy Dawn, which maybe if I can link it below, I will. And I learned in the webinar that the word period comes from men not knowing how women's bodies work. Basically, a period is called period because male doctors named it after periodic illnesses. So I was oh, okay. During this phase, besides bleeding, you may experience cramping, low backache, fatigue, cravings. You sometimes may feel a sense of relaxation and relief, like I was just describing. Because your brain is so balanced during this part of your phase that it's a really good time for self-analysis and what's the word I'm looking for? Evaluating. So it's just you're really level-headed. Oh, here it is. The communication between the right and left hemispheres of your brain is more powerful during this time than any other time. This enables you to judiciously evaluate how you're doing in your life, and if necessary, begin identifying and making course corrections that will reposition you in the direction you want to be heading. You get clear, intuitive gut messages during this time too, so be sure to listen to those. Journaling is really great right now. Food-wise, because your body is going through a pretty intense process, i.e. shedding your uterine lining, the foods that you want to eat are super nourishing. And I always the food that I eat during this part of my phase. I eat lots of sweet potatoes and sea vegetables. I have this really great dried seaweed salad mix I got from Thrive Market. You just add water to it and it turns into a seaweed salad, and I personally really like seaweed salad, so that's great. This is also kind of the only time in the month I'll eat fish. So I'll have salmon, which feels really good and blood building. Let me turn the page, but I have my tea. Also, because your body is losing blood, you're losing iron and zinc. So having foods that are really high in iron and zinc are really great too. Exercise-wise, you want to listen to how your body feels and doing like rest and recovery. So like yesterday I took a really long walk. Today I did a yoga class and I just like modified it to do some of the exercises like more gentle for me. And then towards like the end of bleeding, when you're entering your follicular phase again, then you can start to amp up your activity depending on how you feel. And in this book, there's also clues into interpreting your period. So like depending on the color of the blood and the texture. And I know that might sound weird. Like the first time I heard that, I was like, I'm not getting near that blood. Like, ew, no thank you. But as you become more body literate and more comfortable with your body, you realize it's like an amazing tool. And so this cycle in particular, what I've learned is like the way I've nourished my body over the past month through this cycle, I hardly had any cramps, like hardly any. I hardly broke out during my luteal phase, and I'm not wearing any makeup today. Like, I have this lovely little pimple that I picked and now it's a scab. But besides that, like really happy with how my skin looks and how I'm feeling. And yeah, to me that like you can use your period as a report card to see how you did. And then you can decide if you want to make any changes, you know, moving forward. And if you do want to make any changes to your lifestyle, I always like to say like slow and steady. Like, you know, I'm sure some of the ways I talk about living my life could be really intimidating and are definitely privileged. And I didn't just wake up one day and change everything about the products I use to completely clean and the food that I eat. Like I used to eat like Cool Ranch Doritos for like hours every night when I first moved to New York City, and I would drink like a Starbucks chai tea latte every morning, and then I started not feeling very well. And just the first thing I did with the help of a nutritionist that I worked with for 6 weeks, which was really amazing and taught me so much of the foundation of what I know today, I just started having 1 serving of greens a day, and that could be in a smoothie or in a salad. And I didn't eat salad then. Like, I literally didn't eat salad. Like, for lunch I would have like a quesadilla or gluten-free pasta or scrambled eggs. I was eating a lot of yellow and brown food. I was eating like gluten-free pasta, scrambled eggs, and sweet potatoes, and quesadillas, grilled cheese. That's about it. I was still eating cheese then. It would make me sick, but I was still eating it because I didn't want to give it up because it's so yummy. Basically, my point in saying that is that your taste buds change, and once you're ready, like the next kind of like level will reveal itself to you and you don't have to worry about it. I hope that made sense. For more info on that, like Daphne Javich, Doing Well on Instagram, she's an amazing resource. And she has also tons of Instagram highlights about this kind of stuff. So I was excited to make this video today. Even though I'm on my period, I feel like I have a lot of energy actually, but I'm still taking it easy and resting. One other thing that I really liked and has been circling in my mind over the past week, that was also mentioned in the webinar I watched through Christy Dawn. It was all about herbalism and your menstrual cycle. Is that if you think about the 4 phases, follicular, ovulation, luteal, and menstrual, you can also think of each phase as a season. So menstrual is like winter, you're resting. Follicular is spring, things are starting again. Ovulation is summer, everything's like bright and juicy. And luteal is fall, you know, you're harvesting, you're preparing for the winter. And that metaphor like really works well in my head. Anyway, I think I'm gonna make a whole other video about period stuff because I just get so excited. And so other updates, Following up on me talking about crying, I think I was just going through like a purge of all types of things. Like I had so many pent up emotions. I also like accidentally gave myself food poisoning. I made lunch for myself last week one day, and then right afterwards I started not feeling very well. Pretty much that whole night I was up getting sick in the bathroom, like every 5 minutes, really getting ill. I would love to get into the details, but I will spare them. I'll spare you the details. And it really just felt like I was just getting rid of everything inside of me. Like by the end of it, like there was nothing in my system. It was truly insane. And in my meditations since then, I've really just been feeling like I have stepped into this new version of myself that I picture myself being, and now I feel like I'm actually her. And I hope that makes sense, but I've just been feeling really good, and I feel like energetically how I feel is how I feel at the end of a meditation, like really peaceful and grounded and clear. So that just feels like amazing progress, and I wouldn't have been able to make that progress like without this time, honestly. I mean, I would have eventually, but I think this whole time, because I've just been in my apartment, it's just sped up the process. And one thing also that I'll share that my therapist said to me, I go to virtual therapy every week, and she was like, Gabby, like just to let you know, like you didn't have to move to LA to become how you are now. You didn't have to, do a certain thing. If that, like, I didn't have to have A, B, and C that I pictured like me needing to have, like getting yoga certified or whatever, or doing a juice cleanse. You don't have to have all of these things to have a spiritual practice and become the person you want to be. Like you can do that just by taking a walk every day. And I just thought that was really cool. And then the other update I have is that I started reading the book Wild by Cheryl Strayed. Isn't that pretty? Wild. I'm about halfway done with it now, and I've really, I'll show you the bookmarks I painted also. I painted these little snake bookmarks and sent them to some friends with postcards, so that was a fun activity. Yeah, I'm about halfway done with it now. I'm really enjoying it, and I just look forward to reading it every day, so this has been really great. I've also been really catching up on watching The Real Housewives, and I just finished the newest season of Beverly Hills, and now I'm on to Orange County. I used to watch like every Bravo TV show under the sun, but when I moved into my first apartment after college, I didn't have access to Bravo anymore, and so I missed out on all my shows, and that was okay because, like, whatever, it's just The Real Housewives. But it's been really fun to catch up on all of those fun shows. I love Vanderpump Rules, that's definitely my favorite. And also it's cool that you can be like a spiritual person and still watch trash TV, you know what I mean? Like you can have all of those things. Like I love Rick and Morty so much. Oh my gosh, I'm also watching the new season of Rick and Morty. I'm also watching Insecure, which I'm loving. Well, I always love Insecure, but the newest season I'm loving. And what else am I watching since I'm talking about TV? Great British Bake Off, I talk about that a lot. I'm almost done with season 7, so then I'll shut up about that. But that's just an amazing show. Oh, another fun update. In my makeup tutorial video, I mentioned this beauty brand called Say that I had been wanting to try. So I decided, put my tea down, I decided to order a few of the products I had my eye on. So I ordered the Glow Balm, and this is huge. Like on their website, I don't think it's clear how large the product is. And I'm really, really liking it. So I used to use the Glossier Future Dew, and this, oh my goodness, can you see how gorgeous this is? I mean, are you kidding? This has a really, really nice texture. Oh, and it smells really good too. And so I've been using this in the mornings after sunscreen and then putting on just a tiny bit of concealer, and that makes me feel like I'm good for the day, especially because my skin has been looking so good thanks to how I've been eating. So I like this a lot. The texture is just really smooth, whereas like the Glossier Future Dew is a pretty sticky texture. And then I also got their Dew Balm, which comes in this cute little aluminum-y paint tube, and I got the Bronze Nectar color. I was hoping this would be more bronzy than it is. It's really just kind of like a highlighter with a golden tone, but it's not a bronzer, and I'm aware that bronzer and highlighter are two different products, but I would really like just one product to do both of those things for me. And then I also got their brow butter, which I am really liking. I got it in clear. And one thing I like about it is, can this camera focus maybe? How tiny, okay, now I'm that person. Whatever. How tiny the brush is. And it feels like you're really like combing through your eyebrows, which is pretty soothing. So I like everything I ordered, which was really fun. And then I also got these sunglasses on Depop, which I'm obsessed with these. Like, I know they're a whole look. I had been wanting like vintage aviators, and I got these for $12, and I think they're pretty flattering, honestly. Like, I also love sunglasses with like a yellow orange tint, because they just make you feel like you're in a movie and everything feels good. And then you take them off and you're like, oh, everything is so blue. Okay, so those are my updates for now, and yeah. Just excited to share. For the rest of this video, I'll keep sharing what I'm eating during this phase of my cycle. And then, yeah, let me know if you need anything else. Thanks for watching! So now he's buried by the lilies. So I could stay forevermore in your eyes, babe. I sense a leak inside my... I know he has your private number.